Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurva Bhishtasha Purikam Rugana Shisha Sambhushitam Chincha Chincha Samasta Veda Nipunam Shri Rupa Pantanugam Govinda Bidamujvalam Bharatanam Bhaktyamitam Sundaram Vande Vishwa Guruncha Divya Bhagavat Premno Hi Bijaparam. Affectionate guidance. Okay. Jai Shri Gurudev, Jai Radharani Devidasi. So we're so fortunate, because we're spinning around in the objective world, but at any moment we can go and dive into the real world, the world of substance, as coming from the heart of our divine masters. So we're feeling some need. Yes, we've got our team together. So we're so fortunate because, we're getting tossed around by the waves of the material energy, the objective world, and we can come and find some relief in getting some glimpse into the reality, the beautiful, as expressed through the heart of our divine guardian. So this is a very wonderful book, Affectionate Guidance, what year was it published? Published 2004, which is now quite some years ago. Now we're 2019. 2020. I'm still stuck in the previous year. 2020, wow. March 2004 this was published, so that's like almost 16 years, right? And it's been a long time maybe it's been that long since I went through it properly, fully. It's really nice to dive in and do a focused study, of a book, because we tend to read here and there and bits and pieces here and there, but to really dive in and focus, we don't do so much. So it's nice to do. So maybe we can do this in the evenings. And here's a picture of Gurudev. This is 1992. 1992, London. Yeah, we can pass it around. This looks like... No, maybe this is California. I think this is California. I think that's California. So, I'm going to start with chapter 1. The Divine Service of Krishna. Krishna, and this book we can just add, it was published by Mahananda Prabhu, who is now Madhusudan Maharaj, and it was a compilation, as I understand, of different articles which had already been published in different places, in different magazines, and some of which were out of print. So it was bringing to light again things which were becoming lost. And it's so nice to do that because many things get published in different places in a scattered way, and it's easy for them to become lost. So it's nice to this is archiving it, for the benefit of posterity. Okay, so we are in section 1, Siddhanta, chapter 1, the Divine Service of Krishna. Krishna is the highest, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are 5 types of rasas, or divine ecstasies. Every rasa is fully present in Krishna. Do you know what the word rasa means?
The humanity of the human factor, something like that.
Maybe you're thinking of the word aprakrita. Maybe. Well, the word rasa we generally use it to refer to different, the way Gurudev's using it here is to refer to different relationships that Krishna has. The word rasa, it means like a particular flavor, taste. It's sometimes translated, Srila Swami Maharaj would often translate it as mellows, but it's this kind of mellow, it's kind of an old-fashioned word nowadays, so it sounds a bit funny. But it means like a particular taste, flavor, or it can mean like the juice, like that thing, that like a particular type of pleasure, flavor, like a flavor of ecstasy. You know, like you know, in a very broad sense, we can say that we are all seeking rasa, and there's particular rasas that we experience in our day-to-day lives. You know, so like if you eat a bag of chips, there's a particular rasa that you're seeking there. There's a particular type of joy, fulfillment. If you watch a particular kind of movie, a comedy or a horror movie or an adventure movie, there's a particular rasa that you're seeking. Then also in relationships, you know, there's a particular rasa that you have with your mother, with your father, with sisters, with brothers, with friends, with school teachers, neighbors, and so on and so forth, husbands, wives. There's a unique rasa, there's a unique flavor, unique taste, unique pleasure that you get in all of those things. So the word rasa is also used to describe the different relationships that Krishna has, that are available with Krishna. So we'll hear, as Gurudev is saying here, that there are 5 types of rasas. You know, 5 types of like unique relationships. There's a unique flavor of ecstasy that is available in each of these 5 relationships with Krishna. And those are, well, we'll hear that here. Gurudev is going to list them. Krishna is the highest, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are 5 types of rasas, or divine ecstasies. Every rasa is fully present in Krishna. So this, like according to our gurus, this is a scientific reason why Krishna is understood to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because every rasa is available with him. Every type of ecstasy, every type of relationship is available with him. So like, for example, if we compare Krishna with Narayan, Vishnu, then Vishnu, he doesn't have parents. So that rasa, is that particular relationship, that particular exchange of love is missing. You know, Vishnu has one wife, Lakshmi Devi. So that relationship's also not available. That relationship of a lover, it's not available with Vishnu. That's reserved for one, Lakshmi. You know, then also Vishnu, he's a very like awe-inspiring being. So you can't like play with Vishnu. You can't play football with Vishnu. You know, Vishnu is someone who you give your dandavat to from a distance, you know, but you can't like, you know, knock him on the shoulder and say, hey, old buddy, old pal, let's have some wrestling, you know. You cannot bite an apple and then, oh, Krishna or Vishnu, this tastes so good. That's offensive. Isn't that offensive? When you go to make an offering to the deity, you don't go to eat first, right? No, that's offensive, right? So you can't do that with Vishnu. That would be offensive, you know. But with Krishna, it's a different thing because it's all about exchange of love. You know, it's a different ball game there. Then, if you're not biting the apple first, then you're boring. Then you're too square. You know. Then you got to go down to Vaikuntha. Like, what's your problem, man? Did you offer that first? So Vaikuntha Vasi would just be bewildered by the activities of the Brajabasis. Like, that's offensive. What are you doing? Did you offer that properly? They wouldn't get it. But it's actually a deeper type of love and a deeper type of surrender that overlooks these rules, regulations, formalities. It's like we may have a very intimate friend who may treat us in a very casual way, and they may be a little loose in their behavior. They may tease us, but they're ready to die for you. That's a real thing. They're ready to give their life for you. And then you may have another friend who's really respectful and gives you so much honor, but that's where it ends. They're not really deeply connecting with you. So so that's the mood of the devotees in Vrindavan. They'll tease Krishna, they'll play with Krishna, they'll wrestle with Krishna, they may make fun of Krishna, but they're ready to die for Krishna at every point of their existence. They're ready to give everything for the satisfaction of Krishna. So it's actually superficially it appears that they're not respecting Krishna properly, but it's actually a deeper level of surrender, a deeper level of self-giving. So there's more freedom there. Because there's no question of their own separate interests, then they have full freedom and they can treat Krishna however they like, because there's no question of them doing anything for themselves, or what to speak of doing anything against Krishna's interest. So they have full freedom to serve him according to their heart's desire. They're already established on the platform of full, wholesale surrender for Krishna's interest. So from the scientific perspective, the science called the science of rasa vichar. On the basis of rasa, our gurus have concluded that Krishna is the highest, because the full range of rasa is available with him in a way that is not available with any other forms of God. Every type of relationship is available with Krishna. So Krishna is sometimes described as, Srila Rupa Goswami gave this phrase, Akila Rasamrita Murti, means that he is the embodiment of rasa. Every rasa, every flavor, every type of ecstasy is available with him in a way that is not found with anyone else. Every rasa is fully present in Krishna. The servitors of Krishna are all happy in his exclusive service. There are so many religious conceptions to be found in the world. Some favor Shanta ras. So this is the first of the 5 rasas. Shanta ras. Peacefulness, the relationship. And this shanta ras, it refers to a passive type of relationship. The word shanta literally means peace, as it's put here in parentheses, peacefulness. So this type of rasa indicates a passive relationship. So that refers to the plants and the animals, rivers, the trees, like that they're perfectly situated in a mood of surrender and love for Krishna, but there's not any active exchange there. So it's a type of passive relationship. So some favor Shanta ras, others Dasya ras. Dasya, can you guess what Dasya means?
Not enough brain cells though.
Well, you know what Dasi means, right? Come on, we're in polite company here. Don't say slave, you'll scare people. Yeah, slavery, if we're going to be blunt. So dasya, das, dasi, this is all, referring to servitorship. So dasya das means, okay, but with the rasa, dasya rasa, what does that mean? What do you say?
Relationship?
Yes, the relationship of servitude. So it means, so dasya ras refers to that particular mood of service, being service. So there's still some distance there, but it's an active expression of surrender. They're in the mood of being Krishna is our master and we are his servant. So still some element of, reverence there. And then Sakya ras. Sakya. Can anyone guess what Sakya means? Do you know this one, Sakya? Friendship? Yes, friendship. So this is more intimate, in the mood of friendship. So this is Krishna's cowherd boyfriends who will, all the examples we just gave of, jumping on his shoulders, wrestling, playing with him, like that. Then we have Vatsalya ras, parenthood, the parental relationship. And literally Vatsalya means affection, something like affection. But it's used to indicate someone who loves Krishna so much that they feel they're superior to Krishna, that they have to take care of Krishna, that Krishna can't manage without me, It's a very peculiar kind of relationship. It's like it has this contradiction there. Because we can understand it by looking at the role of a parent, the parents' exchange of love with their children. Because parents, they're like ruling over their children, right? The parents are in the mood of a superior, but at the same time they're serving their children hand and foot. So the parent will change the diaper of their child. The parent will work hard to make money to raise their child. The parent will spend all their money on the care of the parent will cook for their child. The parent's whole life is revolving around their child. So they're serving the child in a very extreme way. But at the same time, they're in the position and in the mood of a superior. So it's actually a very developed expression of love, where you feel that you love someone so much that you think they can't manage without you. So Krishna's like his mother, his father, and older relatives, older persons in Vrindavan, they have this type of mood. Like this, it's actually a very extreme type of love. If I don't chastise Krishna, then, he's not going to manage. We just we were in Rome when they went over, but the pages just before where we were reading this morning, there's one case where Jagannath Mishra, Mahaprabhu's father, right? He has to discipline Mahaprabhu sometimes, young Nimai. And some of his friends, or maybe it's some neighbors, they say, we think that this boy is not an ordinary boy, so maybe you shouldn't, treat him maybe you shouldn't, tell him off, And then Jagannath Mishra says, I don't care who he is, I don't care if he's Lord Narayan or something. He says something like that. He's my boy, he's my son, this is my duty as a father, So it's a particular type of love. There's that occasion when Mother Jashoda, she's holding Krishna, baby Krishna on her lap, and she looks in, and she's been told Krishna was eating dirt. So she has to inspect his mouth. Is it true? Because he's denying it. No, I wasn't eating dirt. So she goes to look in his mouth. And when she looks in his mouth, she sees the whole cosmos in there. And then she's like, whoa, what was that? And then these other feelings start to creep in, some reverence, or who is this boy? And for some split moment. And then Srila Sridhar describes then a cat meows. And then Krishna, he shows some fear, and he goes, closer to his mother. And then she forgets everything. Oh, he's my boy, and he needs me. There's this like beautiful exchange here, like she's the protector and he needs me, how will he manage without me, It's like we were discussing this the other day, like how, in our ordinary way, we experience sometimes, like out of love, people will think that we're helpless. Like I'm 35 years old, I know how to do this, and you'll have people worrying about you, like going through an airport, or like, I've done this 100 times, I'm 35 years old, and I can manage just fine. But it's a type of love, like it blinds you, and it makes you think, like, this person really needs my help, and they're so helpless. It's very scientific, actually. This, the development of rasa. And, we have some glimpse of the expression of these moods in this world, Not that we can compare, but we get some glimpse, of understanding into all of these things. So then after Vatsalya Ras is Madhura Ras, the mood of consorthood. So some favor Shanta Ras, others Dasya Ras or Sakya Ras or Vatsalya Ras. But Madhura Ras, divine consorthood, is found in the extreme, only in the line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. For example, Jesus Christ introduced himself as a Son of God, and so he showed us the fatherhood of Godhead, taking himself as the Son. That is taken as the highest relationship, and that the kingdom of God is heaven. This was Jesus' explanation to the general mass. We see that his conception and that of the Vaishnavas is sometimes quite similar. Guru Maharaj also showed appreciation for Christianity. But the highest goal is Madhura Ras. So this word Madhur literally means sweet, sweetness. So it means the sweet rasa, indicating the sweet relationship, indicating the relationship of, lover. And that has two expressions, swakiya and parakiya. Swakiya means wedded love, that there's marriage, and that is not in Vrindavan actually. That is in Dwarka. Krishna has his 16,000 queens, right? 16,108 queens. So that's in the mood of swakiya, wedded love. And then the other type, which is considered to be higher according to the science of rasa, is parakiya. And that means the paramour relationship. The unlawful relationship. So parakiya Madhura Ras. That is understood to be the highest relationship. The highest goal is Madhura Ras, and so our line of gurus, they are, there's different approaches toward Krishna, but our line of gurus, they are concerned exclusively with Madhura Ras. That is where they want to take us. And of course, it is a very high thing. It is not something that we are contemplating at present so much, but we do need to understand and remember from time to time. This is the goal, where they want to take us, where they are living. What Mahaprabhu appreciated. The highest goal is Madhura Ras, and that is possible only by worshipping Krishna in various ways. That type of service is not explained anywhere in the general scriptures, such as the Bible or Quran, etc. It is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the glories of which were sung by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It was he who distributed in the world the rasa of Madhurya, divine sweetness. The good souls who are attracted by this sweetness cannot be attracted anywhere else except to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and thus begin the worship of Lord Krishna. The domain of Krishna is Goloka. We should know of two basic divine natures of the Lord, Madhurya and Audarya. In Madhurya, the Lord enjoys his own. So this is, when it comes to the highest expression of divinity, of Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord, then there are two divisions. And one is Mahaprabhu, and the other is Krishna. They are of the same quality. The same quality of rasa is present within within both Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Dev, and Sri Krishna. Because normally we're appreciating some gradation, right? That, Lord Narayan, he is according to rasa, he's in a lower position to Krishna, right? So normally we are appreciating some gradation of rasa within expressions of divinity. But in the case of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Bhagavan Sri Krishna, they are of the same quality of rasa. It is just that it is a different mood, it is a different expression of rasa. And this is how it is distinguished. The mood of Audarya and the mood of Madhurya. And Audarya means the mood of magnanimity, generosity. And Madhurya means sweetness, and indicating a mood of relishing sweetness, relishing rasa within a closed circle. They're tasting that, and they're not in the mood of distributing that to others. So Krishna is in the mood of Madhurya. Krishna is Vrindavan is kind of like a closed circle. Unless you have an entrance ticket from Mahaprabhu. Then you get entrance. But otherwise it's closed. So Krishna's enjoying within his group in Vrindavan. And then Mahaprabhu, he's in the mood of distributing Krishna. So these are the two expressions of rasa that are found within the highest plane of the spiritual sky. And there is also, Gora Leela has its eternal place. Krishna Leela and Gora Leela. So, it is also mentioned, some souls will go to, is mentioned, we heard from Srila Gurudev, and is also mentioned, I believe, in Brahma Samhita, that some souls, they will have more affinity to Gora Leela, and they will have a place in Gora Leela. Other souls will have more affinity for Krishna Leela, and they will have entrance into Krishna Leela. And then it's also mentioned that some souls, if they have equal affinity for both, then they will have a place in both, Krishna Leela and Gora Leela. That is also mentioned. So these are helpful words to remember. The mood of Audarya, that is Mahaprabhu, the mood of magnanimity, and Madhurya, the mood of sweetness, referring to Krishna. And there is also the mood of Aishwarya. That is another category. And Aishwarya, but that is of a lower category. Aishwarya means majesty. So that is referring to Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayan. He is expressing his divinity in a very majestic, type of way. Very awe-inspiring type of way. So that is another expression. We should know of two basic divine natures of the Lord, Madhurya and Audarya. In Madhurya, the Lord enjoys his own divine loving sweetness with his eternal associates. But in his mood of audarya, he is always employing different ways to distribute divine ecstasy to the pure souls, the devotees. In the Quran, we hear of Koda and Banda. Koda means God and Banda means servant. There also we find a relationship between God and the soul. And in the line of Christ, the supreme relationship is shown as father and son. We have seen in the Song of Solomon only a hazy mention of consorthood. Actually, all the religions of the world generally reach to Brahmalok, or the non-differentiative plane of the Absolute. Before Brahmalok, or the plane of Brahman, is the river called Viraja, but beyond Brahmalok is the divine plane of Vaikuntha. Our devotional life starts in Vaikuntha Lok. This is Vaishnavism. Shankaracharya's conception of Nirvishesh or Nirakar, an impersonal or formless God, is only the plane of Brahman. But our Vaishnava Shastra or scripture say that he has divine form. Although we cannot perceive it, within the sun there are also many forms. If we observe a jungle from afar, we see only a mass. But when we enter a jungle, we can properly observe so many things, birds, beasts, trees, flowers, etc., all engaged in their mutual affairs within the jungle. Similarly, from a distance, people say, God is this, God is that, he has no form. So that's like from a great distance, they're just seeing this mass of formlessness. But when you come closer, then you can see what variety is there. They describe him according to their vision. But if we exclusively try to know the form of God and the domain of God, we shall have to come to the conception of Vaikuntha Lok. From there, the 5 rasas progressively appear, culminating in Krishna Lok. Krishna Lok is the highest plane, as confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Ete chamsha kalapam sa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indradi Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. The descents of the Lord are either his plenary portions or portions of those portions. In every age they descend to relieve the world of the disturbance created by demons. But the original form of Godhead is Krishna, the son of Nanda. Whatever one may see with the eye of transcendence, all that is auspicious has its origin in Krishna. This interpretation is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Supreme Personality has everything. In him there are not only the 5 kinds of chief rasas or mukhya rasas, there are also the indirect or gona rasas. Everything is in him, and everything is auspicious in him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to distribute the ecstasy of our transcendental life. And after Mahaprabhu, many of his pure followers or associates, parshads, came into this world. In this way, we think ourselves most fortunate to have as our guardian Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhardev Goswami Maharaj. We are trying to serve him to our best capacity in the company of the Vaishnavas. That is our happiness. I am very happy when devotees from all over the world come here to Sri Navadvip Dham for transcendental life, leaving aside the mundane. We are trying to practice in the plane of seva, divine service. That alone can give us the highest goal. In this mundane world, there are the methods of karma, jnana, yoga, or works, knowledge, meditation, etc. But every method cannot take us to the absolute, although every method is somehow connected with the line of bhakti, devotion. Otherwise, they have no substance or factual existence. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna has said, Sarvam karma kilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Works, or karma, ultimately culminates in knowledge, or jnana. tapasvibhyo diko yogi, yanibhyo pi matodika, karmibhyaschadiko yogi, tasmad yogi bhavarjuna, yoginam api sarvesham madgaten antaratmana, shadavan bhajate umam, same yukta tamomata. I consider the yogi superior to the performer of austerity, superior to the worshipper of Brahman, and superior to the worldly worker. Therefore, Arjuna, be a yogi. And of all yogis, supreme is the faithful devotee who surrenders unto me and serves me with all his heart. Thus the jiva's soul may progress in devotional life up to exclusive devotion, Ananya Bhakti. He must be the gainer, and with the blessings of Sadhu, Guru, and Vaishnav, he must come to the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Service is life. Everybody is always doing something, thinking, feeling, and willing. It is the nature of the jiva's soul in this world to be always active. But if he functions properly in the line of devotion, that is called seva, and he becomes the greatest gainer. So we are trying to maintain our spiritual life under the guidance of Guru and Vaishnav. Our spiritual life is the service of Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundar. We are living souls, we are not dull matter. If we are not scholarly, it does not matter. We can communicate by heart. One boy came here from Hungary. He could not even speak to us. He could not even say, I want to eat something. Still, he stayed with us happily for about 4 or 5 weeks without difficulty. Maybe a little, of course, but negligible. In this way, our Shraddha or faith will guide us. Guru Maharaj always directed his devotees to engage themselves 24 hours daily in the service of the Lord. In this way, you can ignore the mundane world and you must reach your destination. Some may engage themselves in fasting for spiritual life. It is very commendable that they want spiritual life, but in spiritual advancement, we need to maintain our mundane body. The safest course is to follow the line of Srila Rupa Goswami. Anasaktasya Vishayan. And this verse we've been mentioning a lot. This is the verse describing Yukta Vairagya. You remember Yukta Vairagya? Tell Ash, what is Yukta Vairagya?
Well, it has to do with renunciation, proper renunciation. Yeah.
That's it. Proper renunciation. And so this is the verse. It's also translated sometimes as renunciation in devotion. I remember you really liked that. And this verse is given by Srila Rupa Goswami, and it defines what is Yukta Vairagya, proper renunciation. And this verse, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he published on the front cover of every edition of his magazine, the Gaudiya, along with another verse, which Gurudev doesn't quote here, and I can never remember, which defines false renunciation. So these 2 verses he published on the front cover. So this is the verse defining Yukta Vairagya. Anasaktasya Vishayan Yatarham Upayunjata Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagyam Uchate. Yukta Vairagya is said to be the detachment of one who, with disinterest, accepts objects favorable to the practice of devotion. Krishna's relativity is the predominant factor. So they're not seeing their own interest in relation to anything of the environment. But they're not rejecting it. Rather, they're seeing it in relation to Krishna's interest. Whereas in false renunciation, one is viewing everything as negative within the environment. Everything that's beautiful, everything that's enjoyable, everything that's attractive, oh no, that's Maya, that's evil. stay away. But the devotee, and why? Because they're only thinking about themselves. They're thinking, oh, that's attracting. It's like the other side of the coin of exploitation. Exploitation and renunciation are two sides of the same coin, because they're both based on individual interest, on selfish interest. Oh, I really like that, I'm going to enjoy it. And then, I do that, and then I get in trouble. Then I have a karmic reaction. So now I don't like it anymore. Then I hate it. And I want to renounce it. What? You don't need to renounce anything. Nothing belongs to you anyway. So devotional vision, in the mood of proper renunciation, Krishna's relativity is seen in everything, within everything. The purport is the person detached from mundane objects, yet eager for objects associated with Krishna, accepts with the spirit of detachment objects conducive to his devotion, while rejecting those unconducive to it. His detachment is known as integrated detachment. Nice, huh? Integrated detachment. For example, we cannot live in this world without food. But that food should be the prasadam of Krishna and Mahaprabhu. Yagya shishta shinashanto muchyante sarva kilbishai bunjate ted tvagam papa ye pachan tyatma kadana. This is Bhagavad Gita verse, which Gurudev would quote from time to time. Those who cook for themselves are eating sinful things, but those who cook for the deity, for Krishna, for Bhagavan, God, and take his remnants as mercy, they proceed correctly. They will not be attacked by Maya. They will not be attacked by Kali or the onslaught of sin. Everybody has some good qualities, no doubt, and in the absolute sense, there is no sin in the jiva soul. Sin is a mayic form, an illusory form. Ahankara nivrittanam keshavo nahi dorga ahankara yutanam hi majje parvata rasaya. Radharanya, you there?
Yes, please.
This is a good one for your notebook. She's good at learning verses. This is a good one. Ahankara nivrittanam. You know that verse? It's here on page 6. Gurudev really liked this verse. No, it's in the Puranas, Brahma Vaivarta Purana. But Gurudev, he quotes it so much. It's in Prapana Jivanamrita also, Srila Sridhar Maharaj included it. And Gurudev, he referenced this verse in relation to Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, because it compares our ego to a great mountain. And so Gurudev, he would say, you heard how Gurudev would say how Swami Maharaj blasted a tunnel through the mountain of Western ego. So he's referring to this verse, because it compares our false ego to a mountain. Anyway, sorry, I'm interrupting your service right now. Ahankar, so it's saying, Ahankar nivrittanam Keshavo nahi durga. For one who is free from the ahankar, ahankar is the false ego. Keshavo nahi durga means Keshava is not far away. For one who's free from the false ego, Keshava is not far. He is very close. But ahankara yutanam hi, for one who has an ahankar, madhye parvata rasa. It's as if there's this great mountain range between them and the Lord. The Lord is very, very close to us. The Lord is in our heart. As Gurudev said, there's not 1 inch of space between us and the Lord. But the presence of that ahankar makes the distance seem infinite. But once that awakenment comes, then we will see, oh, he is very close. He is here. Keshava, Krishna, can be found in the company of the selfless, but the egotistic are mountains apart from him. When we think, this is mine, that is called ahankar. This boy is my son, this man is my father, this house is my house. Such consciousness that this is mine is called Maya. And when that type of shadow comes over us, we cannot see the sun. Like a cloud. A cloud comes in the sky and blocks our view of the sun. Maya is like this. When the illusion of ahankar or false ego comes over us, we cannot see God. But in the light of God, we can see Maya. And in the light of the jiva soul, we can see our ahankar. In this way, we can see everything. Our realization will come in this way, and this is the proper way. It's a really nice analogy. There's a similar idea given, it's a famous verse in, I think it's in Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the end of the chapter. It's a short chapter. It uses Gurudev's using the sun here. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, Nadarar Jodu Paschana, the example of the moon is given. That compares the Atma to the moon. And the ahankara and our other, gross layers, they are like clouds that are covering that. And so when the moon is covered by clouds, then you cannot see the moon. But at the same time, you can only see the clouds because of the light of the moon behind. So it's a very peculiar situation. So, as the practitioner progresses and their Atma becomes more bright, and in the light of that Atma it becomes more clear, this ahankara, this mind, this intellect, these senses, these are all false, artificial constructs. It becomes more and more apparent, like, oh, this distinction, like, oh, what's going on here? This isn't me. These mental functions and, all these things, the expression of false ego becomes more and more clear. Like, this is something separate. This is something playing out in my consciousness, but it's not who I am. One starts to feel I'm living in a cage, actually. The covers, they become more and more distinct. As the Atma becomes brighter and stronger, then you can feel, oh, this is something separate. All these ideas in my head, these egoistic expressions, this is not who I am.
Sense of identity.
Yeah.
Who I think I am.
Yeah. You realize this is a construct. This is something imposed upon me. This isn't who I really am. When that type of shadow comes over us, we cannot see the sun, like a cloud. A cloud comes in the sky and blocks our view of the sun. Maya is like this. When the illusion of ahankar or false ego comes over us, we cannot see God. But in the light of God, we can see Maya. And in the light of the jiva soul, we can see our ahankar. In this way, we can realize everything. Our realization will come in this way. And this is the proper way. So this is the end of chapter 1. And the next chapter is called In Praise of the Devotees. Jai Shri Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai.